Senator Lanza to explain his vote.
President, to explain my vote, I'll be voting in the negative with respect to this legislation. You know, Madam President, I am for forgiveness, I am for rehabilitation, but I am also for the truth. And in effect, what this bill does is deny the truth. It hides the truth about what people have done. And as Senator Borrello said, I think people should have the opportunity to assess any situation, to express forgiveness, to take a chance, as he said. But, you know, I think human nature teaches us that we need to be aware of the things that we're getting ourselves into. You know, if you're talking about a youthful indiscretion, you're talking about shoplifting or things like that, you know, wipe the slate, clean the slate, do it 5 minutes later. I'm okay with that. But we're talking about serious conduct, convictions, people who have committed armed robberies. Everybody talks about gun violence. I hear a lot about it these days. Armed robbery, armed burglary, gun possessions, weapon possessions. And now all of a sudden, society is not supposed to know about that. And I just think that's wrong. There's legislation, I think tomorrow there's going to be some gun legislation that talks about just things that people say. If they make a hateful statement, if they express racism by words, they're going to be punished, Madam President, in every way, shape, and form. Perhaps they should be. But a person who was convicted of a hate crime somehow is going to have that truth wiped away. You know, if I'm a prospective employer or a parent or a citizen or a neighbor, I might want to know that. In fact, I know I'd want to know that. I'd want to know if someone was not only talking about being a white supremacist, but acted out on that and committed a crime against someone. We ought to know that. People can make decisions. Senator Palumbo brought out the point. So if someone committed a burglary or a robbery or a hate crime 7 years ago in New York, and yesterday they committed a murder in one of our neighboring states, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, they're going to have that conviction wiped away automatically, and they've just committed a murder in New Jersey? That doesn't make any sense. I really don't think anybody believes it does. Madam President, this is bad public policy. This is not about vengeance. This is about information, and it's about truth. And the one last point I will end on is there's a bit of hypocrisy involved in the legislation, one aspect that just stands out to me. So it does make an exception for the government. This bill acknowledges that maybe a past conviction is probative, that it has some value, that it's important to know, but only for the government. The government needs to know this. If in effect that conviction ought to be wiped clean and no one needs to know it because it doesn't prove or show anything and does not give us any value as a society, then why does the government need to know it? Before the government has that information, I think the people of New York need to have that information. And so, Madam President, I'll be voting no.
Senator Lanza to be recorded in the negative.